Hi, it's Adam from Happy Millburn again, and today I'm here with my friend Kevin Quinn, a Short Hills resident and chairman of the board for the Brady campaign. Kevin, can you tell us about yourself and your work with the Brady campaign?
Sure. Yeah, Adam, my family and I have lived in Short Hills for about 8 years now. I have 3 kids, all of whom went to Millburn High. My youngest is a senior and is headed off to Tulane in the fall. How I got involved with the Brady campaign is after the Columbine shooting, Michael Moore made a movie called Bowling for Columbine. My wife and I saw that movie together. We had just had our 3rd child at the time in 2001, and it was profoundly sad, and it seemed like such a profoundly simple issue to fix. And so right after that, at the end of that movie, it said, send donations to the Million Mile March. And we wrote a $150 check, and over time those checks became bigger as I was more successful in my career. And then after the Sandy Hook tragedy, I was again overwhelmed with how I thought shameful and embarrassing this issue of gun violence is in the country, and I joined the board of the Brady Center. It was a real pleasure to get to know Sarah and Jim Brady. They were wonderful people. They passed 2 and 3 years ago, respectively. And about 2.5 years ago, I became chairman of the Brady board.
So Kevin, with gun violence being such a hot topic right now, can you share the point of view of the Brady campaign?
Sure. You know, I think it's sad that people believe that this is such a controversial topic. When you look at polling that is outside of what you see in media, whether it's Pew Center polling or Gallup related polling, 90% of Americans want universal background checks. 70% of Americans want an assault weapons ban. So there exists out there already an overwhelming majority of people. Whether you love guns or hate guns, I think we can all agree that dangerous people should not have access to guns. And who are dangerous people? Convicted felons, domestic abusers, the dangerously mentally ill, terrorists, children. I think we can all agree that these are not people that should have easy access to guns, and we make it all too easy for folks to have access to weapons. Now, just think about this. 20 to 30% of all gun sales take place outside of the background check system. So I just ask yourself this, the next time you're over at Newark and you get on a plane and you look around and you realize that 1 out of 3 or 1 out of 5 people on that plane has not been through a security check. How safe are you going to feel on that plane? Well, we live in an American society today where, again, 1 out of 3 or 1 out of 5 of all gun sales are taking place outside of the system. You should not feel terribly safe.
So Kevin, how can Millburn Township residents participate or take action with this issue?
You know, I think the most important thing that my fellow townsfolks ought to do is, 1, get educated on the issue. Figure out where your candidates stand on the issue of gun violence in America. Do your homework. It will be published on their websites. And if this issue is important, you have to vote on this issue. Unfortunately, public health and safety has not been a top 1, 2, or 3 issue when folks go to the polls. Again, if we're going to change the gun laws in America, it's got to be a priority. That's the single most important thing I would encourage you to do. Secondly, if you want to get educated about the federal laws and about the work the gun lobby has done while you were sleeping to undermine our public health and safety, I encourage you to go to the Brady Campaign's website at bradycampaign.org. To the extent you want to get more activated and plugged into grassroots organization, both of the Brady Center or Moms Demand Action, please contact me directly at kquinn@bradymail.org.
Well, Kevin, it wouldn't be Happy Millburn if I didn't ask you. Tell us what you love about our town.
You know, the thing I love the most about this town, and we've been talking about guns, we haven't been talking about gardening, but I spent a lot of time in my yard. I think the most spectacular thing about Millburn is these giant oak trees, sycamore trees, poplar trees, beech trees that are all over the township. They're absolutely incredible.